says the math is disgusting but simple. Every approved claim equals less money for shareholders. Every covered surgery equals smaller dividends. Every life saved equals lower stock price. I'm going to stop there right here, right now. Let me tell you something. This is exactly why the for-profit model needs to be out of healthcare. And so people will go, well, if they can't make profits, then they can't exist. Exactly. Therefore, it should be owned by the people, not by corporations. You want the government to run healthcare? Yes. Yes. Run it and well funded. Because guess what? Guess what happens when you put it in private hands? Guess what? They start denying you. They start to strip everything away so that you don't get the healthcare that you need. And then they have what's called an oligopoly, meaning a very small few companies that you can choose from. And then they all have an agreement with each other to keep the prices up high. So therefore, you're stuck. You're stuck with them. So it's not a matter of choice, and it's not a matter of a free market, because they monopolize the system, so you have to go to them. So is there really a choice within the private healthcare system? No, you don't have choice. There's an illusion of choice. So back in December of 2024, allegedly, a young man in his 20s took it upon himself to neutralize a prominent CEO who was part of United Health Group, which is a subsidiary of United Healthcare Company. It's a private insurance company here in the United States, one of the largest private insurers here in the United States. Well, since then, they've been a little spooked because a lot of the people were like, ha, 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 chicken's coming home to roost. And so they got scared. So what did they do? Well, guess what? They started rubber stamping a lot more claims than they used to. But that led to some people, particularly within the ruling class, to get a screw face like, what are you doing? You shouldn't be doing that. That's our money, right? Well, now we're seeing that they're trying to screw United Healthcare for giving too much healthcare. You can't make this stuff up. Let's get into this article out of Medium. Oh my goodness. So it says BlackRock is suing United Healthcare for giving too much care to patients after the CEO was murked. Oh my goodness. This stuff absolutely writes itself. Oh my goodness. Let's get into this. So this is the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, right? And of course, he looks like a villain. He looks like a Bond villain saying that, Mr. Bond, I see that you are trying to take over the healthcare system, but luckily for me, I have friends in high places. Anyway, let's continue on. And I love how this article starts it off. It says, you think you've seen peak corporate insanity? Hold my beer. BlackRock, the most powerful asset manager in United Health's biggest shareholder with nearly 10% ownership, is literally suing the health insurance giant, but not for what you'd expect. They're mad that the United Health may actually be giving patients too much care. Yeah, you read that right. In the upside down world of Wall Street, providing healthcare is apparently bad for business. So this first subheading, when helping patients becomes a problem. Here's the lawsuit's twisted premise. After the CEO, Brian Thompson, got murdered and the whole country started screaming about claim denials, United Health apparently got spooked. Word is that they've been approving more treatments, covering more procedures, maybe even, God forbid, acting like actual insurance company instead of a denial machine. And BlackRock is pissed about it. Not pissed, pissed. The lawsuit alleges that United Health misled investors by not being clear about how all this negative publicity might make them, actually honor their insurance contracts. Because apparently, when your CEO gets shot for denying cancer treatments, the logical response is to maybe stop denying so many cancer treatments. But that cuts into profits. And when profits drop, BlackRock's massive stake loses value. Let's stop there for a second, okay? Here's the thing. The corporations under capitalism is a death cult. I'm saying it like it is. It's a death cult because they want to make money off of you so that they can't, but then when you need them, they cut and run. And if you lose your life, well, that's just a way of doing business. They wash their hands of you. Remember when, I think a couple weeks back, I did a story on RBN where a father of 3 who needed a double lung transplant was denied. He was first approved, then he was denied as he was about to get on a plane to Chicago from California to leave for an experimental double lung transplant, and he was denied care by Cigna. Right? And all that money that these families paid into the system. And now you got this middleman saying, well, no, we're not gonna pay for it. It's like, what do you mean you're not gonna pay for it? I paid all this money into the system. So now you have insurance companies standing in the middleman. They're making all this money off of you, and then they deny you care so they can keep that money and then pay it to their shareholders. That's how they operate. They're literally holding your health hostage. And then when the insurance company actually starts giving care, or not even giving care, allowing the care to happen by freeing up the money that you paid into it, then the shareholders who own said health insurance industry get their tidy whities in a bunch because now they're not going to be able to get as much money in their dividend checks. Boo-hoo, cry me a river, you rich fucks. All right, let's continue. It says the math is disgusting but simple. Every approved claim equals less money for shareholders. Every covered surgery equals smaller dividends. Every life saved equals lower stock price. I'm going to stop there right here, right now. Let me tell you something. This is exactly why the for-profit model needs to be out of healthcare. And so people will go, well, if they can't make profits, then they can't exist. Exactly. Therefore, it should be owned by the people, not by corporations. You want the government to run healthcare? Yes. Yes. Run it and well fund it. Because guess what? Guess what happens when you put it in private hands? Guess what? They start denying you. They start to strip everything away so that you don't get the healthcare that you need. And then they have what's called an oligopoly, meaning a very small few companies that you can choose from. And then they all have an agreement with each other to keep the prices up high. So therefore, you're stuck. You're stuck with them. So it's not a matter of choice, and it's not a matter of a free market, because they monopolize the system, so you have to go to them. So is there really a choice within the private healthcare system? No, you don't have choice. There's an illusion of choice, and that illusion of choice puts you in a position where you either have to go to them. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, I have this stack of money. I give it to you to hold for me. just in case something bad happens. When that something bad happens, I'm like, okay, give me back the money so I can pay for my leg to get fixed. Well, I know that you gave us this money to get your leg fixed, but we don't see that as necessary. So we're not actually going to give you that money to get your leg fixed. Or if we do, we're going to give you the minimum amount of care just so that you're stable, and it may not recover as well as it should, but you'll be fine. And so they get to keep that wad of cash that you gave them, and then they get to walk away. You're being swindled. You're being had. You're being bamboozled. You're being ran amok by these same people. I'm going to be real with you. Private insurance is a scam. Private homeowners insurance is a scam. Private auto insurance is a scam. Private life insurance is a scam. Private health insurance is a scam. Private renters insurance is a scam. It's all a scam. All of it. It's all. Because there's a middleman that will deny you your claim in order to keep that money. It's free money. That's what it is. It's free. It's free money. They don't care about you. They never did. And so when it comes to you actually getting what you deserve, what you paid into, you're not going to get it. And that's what's so horrible. So let's continue here. So this is the healthcare finance death spiral in its purest form. BlackRock helped build United Health into a claim denying machine, profited massively from that model, and now they're suing because public outrage might force the company to actually provide healthcare. They're literally suing for the right to let people die for profit. They are sacrificing you and me on the altar of capitalism. They're sacrificing your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your daughter, your son, your grandma, your grandpa. They're sacrificing your families just so that they can make more money. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, I want every single one of y'all. This is your homework assignment. If you haven't seen this movie, you need to. I want you all to look up the movie John Q. Go watch the entire film. It's John Q. It's starring Denzel Washington. Okay? John Q. I want you guys to watch that movie. Think about allegedly what Luigi Mangione did. And think about the healthcare system that we have. And then once you get to that scene where they start to explain things about like HMOs, about kickbacks to doctors, about pharma, all these different things, when they're sitting in the hospital waiting area and he's holding them hostage, I want you guys to listen intently about that. Because the issue is that this has become such a huge problem that it's now entered the ethos of our cinematic industry, where it actually makes for a powerful dramatic film. And yet BlackRock, with their billions of dollars and trillions of dollars in assets, are mad because United Healthcare dare say yes to life. And it's companies like BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street that own a little piece of everything. It's people like Larry Fink that are trying to make sure the shareholders get as much as they possibly can. So that's what this lawsuit's about, for the shareholders to get as much as they possibly can. It's sick. It's sick. All right, let's finish this out. BlackRock's responsible investing bullshit exposed. Remember when BlackRock loved talking about ESG principles and being responsible investors? That was cute. Turns out their idea of responsible investing means making sure health insurers stay ruthlessly efficient at denying care. When United Health started covering more treatments after the CEO's assassination, BlackRock saw dollar signs disappearing and lawyers' fees appearing. This is the same company getting sued for greenwashing in Europe, by the way. Apparently, lying about caring extends beyond just the environment. And so they show a video about how Nestle, how a corporation killed 10.9 million babies, right? And so it says the ultimate perverse incentive. Think about how effed up this is. BlackRock owns United Health. Profits when they deny claims, then sues them when bad PR forces them to approve more treatments. It's like owning a restaurant and then suing the chef for making the food too good because it costs more. But this isn't about burgers. This is about people dying. So I'm not going to read this entire article because I want to get you guys a chance to be able to read it. But this is what's so messed up about the system. That you literally have a system that really doesn't care about you as far as your health. They just want the money out of your pockets, and they're trying to get it by any means necessary, even if it means holding your life hostage. You're in a hostage situation. That's what it is. If you're in a hospital and let's say you have a bad infection and you have to depend on the insurance company either to say yes or no regarding your health, that means that's nothing short of having a gun to your head. They're holding your body ransom. They're holding your wife's body ransom. They're holding your husband's body ransom. They're holding your mama's body ransom, your children's body ransom, your father's body ransom. That's exactly what they're doing. And the thing is, they don't give a damn whether your family member lives or dies. And so when I talk about actually having a nationalized healthcare system, this is what I'm talking about. Because the problem is that every single time somebody ends up going through this, somebody ends up dying because of these insurance companies. Imagine how many people's lives would have been saved even if we had a single parent, which I think is minimal, but a step in the right direction. Imagine how many people's lives would be saved right now. And when they're talking about not just the people we're talking about the people who are insured. We're not talking about the people who are underinsured, who have insurance, but they can't afford the copays and deductibles. And we're not talking about the uninsured, the people who are denied even having insurance in the first place. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about just the insured. So when I talk about actually getting a nationalized healthcare system, this is one of the reasons why. Now, of course, this would mean we have to get money out of politics. We would have to change the system overall in order to be able to be more favorable towards a nationalization of our healthcare system. But ultimately, this is why the system needs to change. Because if the system continues to do this, they're going to run out of people to insure because we're all dead. Is that something you can live with? Apparently, they're fine with living with it. The only thing that should die is the industry of private health insurance. And that's something I'm willing to let go. Thank you so very much for watching my channel, and I deeply appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. If you wish to support the channel further, so I can keep bringing you content that is educational and informative, you can become a patron on patreon.com/Jaybefaunt. You can find that link in the pinned comment or in the description below. No matter what you give, you'll be supporting independent media and education that helps make the world better. Thank you so much, and you can watch more of my content here. Mwah. Forehead kisses, and have a beautiful day.